Hi, my name is Jacinta Grandel.
Jacinta, team's been practicing quite a while here since you had a couple of fall regattas. How have things been going?
It's been going great. It's been really fun rowing. I'm definitely looking forward to the upcoming racing season. Very excited. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling, which I haven't had the chance to do too much yet, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I bet you are looking forward to it. How have practices been different as you approach the competitions?
The pieces on the water tend to get a little bit more strength focused. We're of course always focusing on technique, but in fall it's a little bit more technique heavy, just setting up a good base for us to be able to use our power and strength properly when we're out on the water and preparing for those races.
Great. The real fun thing about the spring is it's Olympic style racing side by side. In the fall we had races where it's single file line. You'll be down at American Lake in Lakewood here for the PLU Invite, lining up against either one or in some cases two other crews. What do you think your emotions or thoughts are going to be at the start line?
I am pretty excited. PLU is just a nice fun race to have, just some local competition. This is my first time going to be stroke seat for a 2K race, and so I'm a little bit nervous about that, but I believe I have a good crew behind me that supports me, and I will do my best to support them.
You mentioned the stroke seat. For those not familiar with rowing, the seats are numbered. The one would be the bow. The stroke is 8. And here's the coxswain. What is unique about that spot?
So that spot is kind of the lead rower of the boat, if you would say. They kind of take the coxswain's call and put into momentum what the boat is going to do next, whether that be a shift in rate or a ratio, and then everyone just kind of has a visual and then a feel in the boat of how you're going to move and push. And it's a great leadership position and a very unique one, I would have to say.
It certainly is. Now the coxswain has a sound system so all 8 rowers can hear her. Is there any interaction though between the stroke seat and the coxswain for input purposes?
Yeah, occasionally if the stroke seat feels like there needs to be a move in the boat, maybe if like she thinks we need to bump up in rate, or if she feels that the ratio is off between the drive and the recovery, then she can make just a quick note to the coxswain to help for that, to best keep the boat all together.
Great. Well, you have been rowing here at SPU for a while. A number of seniors and people departed from last year's team, which leaves some wonderful opportunities for people like yourself in the boat. How has it been so far with the people, not just in the varsity 8, but in the other crews? How have things been working out?
It's definitely been a big step up with those advanced members leaving, and now it becomes the realization that I'm now part of the advanced group, and being able to give tips and tricks to novices or people younger than you, and then also realizing the kind of competition we have with each other in the seats that we want for the upcoming races. So it gets a little bit more competitive and tense, but fun at the same time.
Interesting. I like how you put that. Well, let's talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you're from.
So I am from Palmer, Alaska. It's a town, when I grew up, it probably only had about 7,000 people living in it. Yeah.
And what is that nearest a larger Alaskan city?
So if you know Anchorage, Alaska, it's about maybe an hour north of it, and about 60 miles. Yeah.
Not ideal rowing area up in Alaska there. Had you had any rowing experience prior to coming to Seattle Pacific?
No rowing. I kind of never really knew about the sport of rowing. I used a rowing machine a couple times in a gym, albeit probably not properly before I knew how to use it. But other than that, when I came to SPU, I discovered there was a rowing team, and I just thought how the coolest thing to be in a boat for a sport.
And what was it like for you at the start, the process of learning how to row?
I was very open. I just approached it as like, I don't know anything, so I'm just going to take all the information that the coaches or the varsity members have for me and just soak it all in like a sponge. And it was just very fun to learn everything and then be able to see that in the novices of this year and last year, and be able to tell them what it was like for me and to help them with their learning process.
Certainly. And that is certainly not uncommon in rowing. People coming into college with no real rowing background and starting from scratch. It happens even at the highest levels. How long do you feel it took you till you felt comfortable pulling an oar?
Well, at the end of my novice year, which was cut short because of COVID, but it was almost around this time, I felt like being in a boat was already becoming second nature. I was worried when I returned to rowing in the fall that I would forget everything, but it was just like riding a bicycle. There were some other technique things that I realized I needed to focus on a little bit more that I perhaps have lost, but by the end of that autumn quarter, it was in me. I knew how to do it.
Nice. Why did you decide to come to Seattle Pacific?
I found Seattle Pacific through another friend in Alaska, and she had the same major as I did, and she was able to give me a lot of information and encouraged me to visit. And when I visited, I wasn't looking for a small college, but when I was just around the community and saw how close people were, I just really felt like I fit in, that this was the place for me, and just the values of the school matched with the values that I wanted to incorporate in my major and in my future career.
Wonderful. Well, last question will be about that major. What are you majoring, and what do you see yourself doing in that future career?
I am a double major in apparel design and apparel merchandising. My ultimate goal is to one day have my own clothing line, or maybe a few. I'm interested in all areas of fashion. Right now my peak interest is outdoor wear, things like Patagonia or REI, but I am really looking forward to being able to make something of my own.
Great. Well, not surprising someone from Alaska would be interested in outdoor wear. But Jacinta, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.